About 4 years ago, I had what I would consider a spiritual awakening. I grew up as a very religious Christian kid, and I was always pretty obsessed with logic and apologetics and epistemology and like learning how do we know how to find the truth. It was always a very intellectual thing. My religion was always very, what are my beliefs? What is the right thing to believe? And all of that changed in an instant when the awakening happened. And I'll kind of tell you how that happened and where life has taken me since then. Since it's been 4 years. My awakening did not sound or seem very holy, let's say that. My parents were out of town, I was being sneaky, and my friend convinced me to try mushrooms, right? And let me be super clear, mushrooms actually, later down the line, actually caused me quite a lot of mental issues because I just took them too much and I was like chasing revelations and spiritual experiences. But I will say that this first time I did it, changed my life completely and in a very, very positive way. But I just want to emphasize this strongly. Do not just go and take mushrooms because you saw this. Please do not do that. So we take the mushrooms, we go out to my favorite nature park. On the way to the spot we're gonna hang up our hammocks, I start to get very like nauseous. The trees start to like bend over my head. Things start to breathe like this. Fast forward, I don't really remember much of the trip until the moment. But fast forward to, I'm laying in my hammock, I get up, I stand up, I walk over to the middle of the path. I look down and it's just like trees and it's a grass path and everything becomes this kaleidoscope, right? This is definitely the peak of the trip. I was listening to a song called She by Quickly Quickly, S-H-E-E. Still to this day, one of my favorite songs because of this moment. I basically got engulfed in a torus shape. A torus is like a donut sphere of energy. I actually can show you exactly what it looked like. I made an AI image of it. It looked like this, with this color and everything. And that was me in the middle. And in that moment, I felt for the first time true unconditional love. And in that moment, there wasn't any intellectual thoughts happening. It was like a knowing of an infinite part of me. It was becoming aware of my awareness. It's really hard to put a psychedelic state like that into words, but basically my sense of self as Alex dissolved and merged with infinity in that moment, right? The shape I was in was literally an infinite energy loop. And after I came out of that, I was like, I am loved. Like, I am fundamentally loved. I am fundamentally connected to something bigger than myself. And to this day, 4 years later, that underlying knowing has not left me. It sent me down this path of really challenging my religion at the time, challenging all of my beliefs at the time, because I understood something new, that this awareness that is behind my core identity as Alex is giving me life. And it's the same awareness, the same consciousness that's in all living things, humans, animals, anything that's alive. After that point, I became obsessed with meditation. To this day, 4 years later, I'm still very obsessed with meditation. And I would meditate every single day. I would look forward to it because it was a chance for me to tap in and still my thoughts, get rid of every physical sensation by being completely still and just becoming one with that awareness. It also shaped how I thought about success and how to actually get success. Before, I thought about purely taking the right actions, but I started to understand more that your self-concept plays a big part in it. For a while, I thought that your actions didn't matter at all. This kind of delusional manifestation. It's not just about sitting there meditating and becoming a billionaire by thinking about it forever. You have to be taking the right actions, but to be led to those right actions, your paradigms have to be there first. Your thought processes, the foundation of who you are has to be there. For example, if you grew up your entire life and your only concept of yourself is that you'll become a fast food worker, that's the peak you'll ever get to in your entire life, then you would never think about making $1 million, making $10 million. I remember after that happened, I went back to college, and for the first time in my life, my social life exploded because I suddenly understood that we're all connected, and I became very socially generous. I just wanted to give and make people feel good. And I felt confident in myself because I felt self-love for the first time in my life after being bullied for years. For the first time, I could talk to girls, right? Before, I was terribly shy around girls because I'd also been bullied by girls growing up. I would be walking down campus and I noticed that because of my body language and because I was just in this state of flow, people would turn their head more. I would just make eye contact with everyone that I walked past for the first time. And that never happened to me in my life. Since that happened, I've gone through a lot of life. I've been healthy, I've been sick, I've been in a beautiful romantic relationship, and I've been dumped. So it's not like that moment just completely washed away all my problems forever, but it really did open up a new world to me, which was what can be accessed through meditation. So at this point in my life, I'm trying to build a big business, right? And to me, it would just be silly for me not to meditate as well, because I would be building a one-legged stool. I don't want to just be rich and unhappy. I deeply want to continue becoming more peaceful and joyful through meditating every day. What's the point, right? What's the point of getting status and money and material possessions if you just can't enjoy them at all? I'm also not the type of guy who wants to renounce everything and become a monk in the mountains, right? Like, I want to live in the world, but be not of the world. I want to be able to have the things, but not be super attached to them as my sole source of happiness. So yeah, at this point, I don't need to debate anyone on my spiritual beliefs. I don't need to convince anyone of anything. I don't believe that anyone is in imminent danger of going to hell by not believing the right thing. Because why, if God is love, why would God say, yeah, I'm gonna give you 10,000 options to choose from, and if you don't choose one path, you'll go to hell forever? That doesn't make any actual logical sense at all, right? Like, it's completely contradictory to everything else it teaches. I also don't think that enlightenment is just this thing that happens and then you're just good. I think it's a process of becoming a vessel that is able to receive more of the infinite, more of your own soul. As you meditate more, you can start to perceive deeper parts of your soul and have these spiritual experiences. If there's anything I can tell you to take away from this video, it would be start to meditate. And I would recommend Kriya Yoga. Read the book Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. It's a fantastic book. Yeah, I think there's a quote where it's like, before enlightenment, chop wood, after enlightenment, chop wood or something. Type shit. I'm just in Bali, working every day on my business. I meditate. I have fun with the boys. I play video games. Like, my life is pretty normal. It's a great life though. I'd say it has caused me to quickly level up how I think and really understand there is no limit to what I can believe I can do. Everything is just a state of consciousness. A rich person and a poor person are both human beings looking through a different lens, right? Taking different actions. So I just want to slide the right lenses over my eyes, over the way I think, which leads me to make better decisions and experience this abundance that we have. I'm super down to become a material millionaire, but I also want to get rich quick internally, right? With my own joy and peace. And from my experience, the way that I've gotten rich the fastest internally is through meditation. It's really interesting to me that things have stuck with me for years after they've happened, where nothing can make me question it, nothing could make me doubt it, because if you still your thoughts, it's always there. And it provides a lot of peace when you meditate on it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Just wanted to share my experience about how I had a spiritual awakening and how I feel like I'm continuing to awaken through meditation, and to encourage you to meditate. It's awesome. It's seriously awesome. Like, why only get rich on the outside without getting rich on the inside? So yeah.